What needs to be done?
Look, a military encampment's a complicated thing. I don't expect it to be as peaceful and orderly as Holy Mass. But what we have here now is havoc. The men are as nervous and short-tempered as caged bears. When you walk around the camps, you'll see for yourself. Grumbling everywhere, complaints about everything from the gruel to the fleas. They're moaning they've drunk the alehouse dry, and now they have to wait for the next batch of beer. We've got dead who deserve a decent burial, and a lot of wounded, including one of their lordships. The less the troops grumble, the better off we'll all be. But that's not even the main problem.
What do you mean?
Did you hear what Sir Divish was saying to Feyfair, our master builder?
I heard some of it.
And what did you make of it?
He said he'd never built a trebuchet catapult. I wouldn't even know where to start, but he might.
But, if it'll take him as long as he said, we can't wait until Judgment Day. We don't have that much time.
I'll try to ask him if I can help in some way.
You should definitely do that. Without a trebuchet, we're much too weak.
How are you faring, Sir Robard?
How do you think I'm faring, lad? There's some cutthroat thug lolling about in my bed at the castle.
Well, at least no one's raised Talmberg.
Not so far. Though we may end up doing it ourselves to smoke the bastard out.
I imagine Sir Divish isn't taking it too well.
And why do you think he handed command over to me? But it pains my heart too. That place is my home.
What's the easiest way to take back Talmberg?
The easiest way? Call in the Royal Army and leave it to them. But there's no Royal Army to help us now, and we can't afford to wait. What's more, we don't want to destroy the castle. Personally, I'd like to return to it.
Repairing the castle would be expensive.
And time-consuming. No trebuchet is wholly on target. The missiles fly as they please. And if we blast the castle to pieces and Sigismund comes back, he'll make short work of us.
Do you think Sigismund will come back?
How do I know what's in his head? But if he doesn't take advantage of this chaos, someone else probably will. The whole country will know about it soon enough.
I'd never have thought so many people were keeping an eye on Talmberg. Like that fellow Havel.
Not only Talmberg, and we've left precious few men in Rattay. If we're defeated here, who's to stop them from pillaging the whole province? And there's no shortage of power-hungry bastards like Havel and Toth in Bohemia.
Is there some way we can get through the gate?
There are steps from the gate up to the walkway on the battlements, and I don't know how Istvan's covering them. Then there's the portcullis to get through. A big battering ram might breach it, but how could you get one that close? I reckon we'll have to set fire to it.
Stack up brushwood and light it?
Brushwood, timber, anything that burns, soaked in as much pitch as possible. The local charcoal burners surely have some.
And even if it doesn't burn the gate right down, it'll weaken it and make it easier to break through.
Exactly.
And what about the walls? Which side is the most vulnerable?
The south and east are solid. It would be useless to try anything there.
It's best defended from the north, and as for the west...
From the west is where we tried it, and got royally fucked, if you recall. But I think in the end we'll try that way again, only this time we'll do it better.
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranyk for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
Is there anything you can tell me about Talmberg's weak points?
The truth is, Talmberg has far too few weaknesses. Who'd have thought that was something I'd come to regret?
Pity they didn't stay holed up in Vranyk for longer. It would have been much easier there.
Toth is a wily fox. If he'd had all his men with him there would have been real carnage. It's likely we only won there because he'd already gone and taken most of his best soldiers with him.
Is there anything else I can help with?
Well, we need some pitch. I know you had dealings with the charcoal burners.
I've met a few, true enough.
Then have a look around the area. If you manage to find any pitch, bring it to our quartermaster in the camp at the quarry. Good luck to you.
God bless you. What troubles you?
Sir Robard sent me to you. He said you have to build a trebuchet.
Indeed. A trebuchet that can smash the walls of Talmberg. I, a mining engineer. What do I know of war machines? I'll never manage it on my own.
Well, I'd like to help you, but how? I don't know anything about trebuchets either.
Actually, there is a way you could help. Konrad Kyeser came to Sasso recently. If you could get him to come here, it would save my skin.
Konrad Kyeser? Who's he?
He's a scholar who studied medicine, but he also designed siege engines. He even took part in the siege in Nicopolis, together with Sigismund.
He was with Sigismund?
It's not so straightforward. They quarrelled after the battle, after Konrad blamed their defeat on Sigismund.
I don't suppose he took that too well.
Quite. That's what led to Konrad being banished from Prague and making a base at Bethlen Castle.
You're still an engineer, though. Couldn't you build it yourself?
Are you serious? Do you know how complicated such a machine is? What forces are at work in the contraption? If we were lucky, it wouldn't fire at all. Far more likely it would smash itself to smithereens and kill lots of us instead of the enemy.
Banished? Like a common criminal?
He was a member of the court and a doctor and a master engineer, so nothing quite that bad befell him. I've even heard he has a whole host of wise men with him and they're writing some book together.
What's he doing here in Sasso?
They sent him over here to help with building the monastery. No doubt they had to pay handsomely to get him.
And how am I supposed to get him here? Abduct him?
Well, only if all else fails. We need his cooperation. Try having a word with him. By all accounts, he hates Sigismund.
All right, I'll do what I can.
Thank you, Henry. Maybe we will build that trebuchet after all. Good luck then.
Yeah. Yeah. Greetings. What do you need?
Sir, I met the parish priest of Uzhitz, and I must say he's a very interesting man.
I should say so. Have you ever seen him at swordplay? Not bad for a man of the cloth, is he? Rumor has it, when he finished his studies at the university where his father sent him, he decided the religious life wasn't for him, and vanished to foreign parts. They say he made a living as a mercenary. I even heard he fought against the Turk at the Battle of Kosovo, and then he suddenly came back and settled down here. No doubt it cost his family plenty, but he's a fair man and I'm fond of him. There's a lot to be said for a priest with a good understanding of vice.
How are you, my lord?
How do you think? That slimy toad has my blood boiling. If I get my hands on him, I'll rip his black heart out. Only I've been handed the job of guarding the western route, at the quarry. But there's not a damn thing happening there.
Well, at least you're out of archery range of the castle.
True, but it's not much consolation. If the men don't get something to do soon, I'll have to put them to work in the quarry. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
How do you think the siege will go, sir?
Better than it has done so far, I hope. First, we lost your lord and father, and then our nighttime assault failed.
I'm sorry we didn't succeed. It would all have been over by now. But at least we got out alive.
If the two of you had been left behind, Istvan would have had another pair of hostages. Oh, let's pray our fortunes improve. But I'm a bit worried about that Trebuchet. I don't have much experience with engines of war. Even if we do drive Toth out, there might not be much left of the castle after we've done it.
Sir Hanush, do you think Sir Radzig is all right?
Oh, don't worry. He's more used to Toth alive, so he's in no danger for now.
For now?
Radzig's a man who knows how to take care of himself. I'm more concerned about Lady Stephanie. It would be dreadful if anything happened to her.
It was a pleasure to talk to you, Sir Hanush.
Likewise, Henry. Take care.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
How are we doing with the food?
Who wants to know? One of their lordships?
No, I just wondered if there was anything you're short of.
Oh, I see. The lordling is wondering if we're in urgent need of anything. Well. To tell the truth, we don't have much meat. They bring it round often enough, but never as much as they should.
Yes, I've heard something like that.
I'll say. Every other man's moaning on about it. The gamekeepers are doing all they can, but they can't keep up. So if you know how to help them out, bring it right here. I'll take care of the rest.
Fine, I'll keep that in mind. Do we have any beer?
Christ, I wish we did. Our ale's all gone, and we've drained the local inn dry.
That's bad news.
Don't I know it? You can't go and catch a beer in the woods, either. But if you happen to know about some, let's hear it. News like that'd refresh me almost as much as a drink. And the lads, too. Farewell.
Well, meat is God's own blessing. I wouldn't turn it down, but the gruel would large.
Shit! Sod off!
So, let's hope by the time they get to cooking cabbage, there'll be some meat to go with it.
Hope is a fine thing to hold on to. Feel free to add the Lord's Prayer if you think that'll help, or we can take care of it ourselves.
Some venison, maybe? There's woodland enough around here. Should we take a closer look?
Done.
Why are you waking me?
Go away.
What do you need?
How are the men holding up?
They're a rabble. The out-of-towners are desperate to go home. And the locals, they've got nowhere else to go. So they're just generally complaining.
Are they causing trouble?
No trouble as such. It's true I've caught a few of them asleep on their watch. There's nothing a couple of lashes of the whip can't cure.
Well, there might be a simpler solution.
Whipping a man, simple enough. Just give one of them a beating, the others will remember. When they forget, do it again.
But then you'd have an injured soldier. It occurred to me a herbal potion might do the trick.
I never heard of any wives' quackery helping troop morale. But Christ knows they could do with something to flush the booze out of them and keep their eyes open.
How goes it, Sir Bernard?
How goes it? We're sitting here under the castle, and all day long there's folks hewing stones. My ears are ringing as if I'd been struck on the head, which is just how I feel.
I felt that way too since the night of the attack.
That went horribly wrong. And even so, we were lucky. Could have gone much worse.
I have some, trophies.
Let's see. Bastards deserved it. Take care.
Yeah!
God bless you. What troubles you?
How do you feel, Sir Divish? How's the shoulder?
I felt better, boy. I feel awful, truth be told, and my shoulder's paining me.
Let someone tend to the wound and you'll soon be better.
My flesh can be healed, perhaps. But the spirit... Henry, can you do something for me?
What is it you need, sir?
I need a priest as well as a physician. The closest was in Rovna, but I don't know what happened to him. And then there's the one from Uzhitz. What's his name?
Godwin. But why would you need a priest? The wound will heal, especially with the help of one of the monks.
It's not about me. I've got a lot of wounded here that won't see morning, and dead men, and I have to confess my sins. See you later.
Good morning.
I need something to keep our soldiers awake. Do you know of anything that might help?
I do know of a concoction to ward off sleep. I can teach you how to make it if you like.
But I need enough for at least 100 people.
I can't help you with that. You'll have to brew up a bit at a time as it's needed. So, do you want to do it or not?
That'll be very helpful.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
Don't you know that witches get burned alive?
There's no need for trouble. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs. Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end I let them talk me into it.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see, a place of wonder and terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their sabbaths on broomsticks...
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
What kind of ointment was...
One that will show you... I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but...
So all this talk of witches...
The ointment could make a person see such things.
I want to know something else. So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead and ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
Yeah. I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard their plea.
Their plea, or the clink of their coin? And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you know what they do to witches?
They burn them alive.
That they do. So don't be surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend, and watch over them to keep them safe.
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me to.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women. Goodbye.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Satisfied?
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
I'll go for that.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
There's something I need from you, Father Godwin.
Is there, my son? How can I help?
There are a lot of dead and wounded at Talmberg, and no one to make the sign of the cross on their foreheads.
I'd like to help you, Henry, but I have other concerns.
What's happening?
I have a delegation here from the Archbishopric in Prague. They claim I have a heretic in my parish, and there's talk of building pyres. I fear if I left matters here unattended, half the villagers would be roasted before I got back.
I see. Sort of.
Go and ask elsewhere. There's bound to be a willing servant of God left around here somewhere. Take care.
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Indeed there is. I heard there's been quite a ruckus in Talmberg. It seems some gang of poachers has settled in the woods there. I couldn't tell you anything about it, though. You best talk to Nicholas, the Talmberg Master Hunter.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Nothing out of the ordinary, praise God.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I've hardly any beer left, but I have got a lot of goat's milk. Do you think that might lift their spirits? May the Lord watch over you. Cabbage! Lovely, delicious cabbage!
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm looking for some pitch for Talmberg.
Already? What happened to the last lot we supplied?
I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Do you have any, or don't you?
I do. I had a buyer lined up, but it's been a while since he showed his face. What do you need it for?
Talmberg's been taken by a horde of brigands, so we're laying siege to it. We could use some pitch.
Christ blood. I hadn't heard the news. All right, it's all yours. You gave us a hand with that ginger when we needed it, and if it's for Sir Divish, I know my duty. If you want to haul it away yourself, feel free, or I can get someone to deliver it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Take care.
God be with you.
How's trade? Any trouble around these parts?
Around here? The ones who've got it worst are them at the Neuhof stud farm. Getting things up and running again without old Smill would be a job and a half. His widow Zora's a fine woman, tough as they come. But, well, she's a woman still.
What do you think about Talmberg being attacked?
What do I think? That as long as decent people can live in peace, I can talk my way out paying taxes. I don't care who my liege lord is.
Well, this new lord never forgets a man who fails to pay him a single groschen, and the poor probably go straight to the gallows for it.
It's terrible news, especially for us. Poor. I hope you'll drive him out of here so fast he'll shit himself, or hang him from the tallest Talmberg tree.
People usually shit themselves when that happens too.
All to the good. A nice bit of manure and everything blossoms.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could, but there's nothing in it for me.
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg told Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
The gentry have other things on their minds right now than a tavern in the borderlands. They'd need someone to remind them of it first.
You're not suggesting...
You wouldn't be the sort to go off there and snitch on me, now would you?
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying the Talmberg told Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
When you put it like that, I have got a few kegs I could send over. I won't lose out too much. They'd always spoil if I kept them longer, and I'd have to throw them away.
Just remember, if you poison them, they'll hang you for it.
Those soldiers drink it up long before it has time to go off. And what's more, what with all that cabbage being eaten, it wouldn't hurt anyone the shits came courtesy of the beer. I'll have them loaded up right away and taken there. And give their lordships my regards. Tell them I'm sending my best beer as a gift. Why the devil shouldn't I get some goodwill out of this at least? Good luck to you.
Yeah.
God bless. What can I help you with? Good luck, then.
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, so.
Since it's you...
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
Well, that's a decent price.
There's something you're looking for here? God save. What can I do for you? Good luck, then. Are you looking for someone?
Yeah.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Can we do something about the price?
All right, so?
What about this?
That's a poor offer.
Oh, that's a decent price. I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, so?
Agree?
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
I'll go for that.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Can we do something about the price?
Alright, so?
Are we agreed?
That's a poor offer.
I knew we'd come to an arrangement.
Asparagus that'll cut you in half and cucumbers that'll cure what ails you. Come get them.
My humble greetings. How may I serve you? Take care.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you...
That's not enough.
That's a sum I can live with.
See you later.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
Agree?
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
I'll go for that.
Garlic, onion, mushrooms and asparagus. Come right up.
Jesus Christ be praised. May the Lord watch over you.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you...
You're a right pinch purse.
That's a sum I can live with.
See you later.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
Are we agreed?
That's a poor offer.
That's a sum I can live with.
Bread! Bread! Rolls and pretzels!
What am I to do? A poor wretch whose home was burned to ashes by Sigismund's horse.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Is this enough?
That's a poor offer.
That's a sum I can live with.
Good luck then.
Yeah.
Good day to you. What do you need? Goodbye.
Let's talk about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Is this enough?
You're a right pinch purse.
Well, that's a decent price.
Oh, leave me be. I want to sleep.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I brought you some meat.
Stack it over here.
That's the lot.
Great. If we're really going to have to storm the walls, then at least it should be with full bellies. Oh, and here's something for your trouble.
I've arranged some beer for you from the local tavern.
You're a proper treasure, you are. I'm gonna put a word in about how well you look after us. Like your own kith and kin.
The charcoal burners nearby have some stocks of pitch they'll let us have.
That's handy. Sir Robard will be pleased. What little we had left was running out, and he was getting worried.
Well, he can stop worrying.
Good. I'll get someone to take care of it. Take care now.
Yeah. Yeah.
God watch over you, good night, especially in these dark times. Can I do something for you? Take care.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Is this enough?
You won't convince me with that.
Well, that's a decent price.
I'll be with you.
I see there's not much going on around here. So you've stayed here on your own?
Right so, all by myself. All the others were either killed by the Cumans or fled to Rattay.
I'm sorry to hear that. And what's keeping you here, alone?
My older brother ran away with the wandering players, so when our father was on his deathbed, he made me swear I'd never leave our home.
I can see you took your vow seriously.
I did. And it's starting to get dangerous around here. Again.
The Cumans.
If it were Cumans, I'd grab an axe and that would be that. But a week back, some rabble made their way through here. They begged me for food, and mark my words, they weren't taking no for an answer. If they'd been just a tad hungrier, I swear they would have stormed the cottage.
There are gangs like that around, true enough. I saw the mess they left behind. Savages.
It was horrible. People tried to find shelter in the church, but them dogs was waiting. They knew too well that's where folk would try to hide.
And where did you hide?
By the grace of God, I got my family away into the woods.
Well, I don't see your family with you. I hope those bastards didn't sniff them out.
No, it takes better man than them to track me down. I sent my wife to Rattay with some others.
Do you think folk will ever go back to their homes?
Oh, I don't know about Skalitz, but the folk here are sure to want to come back. The only thing they're missing is spiritual support.
Do you mean the priest?
Indeed. When the land's at war, noblemen fight to protect their property. But simple folk want someone to tend their souls.
Of course. But it was the Skalitz parish priest who ministered here, wasn't it?
He did. But there's been no sign of him since the attack. Or at least he's definitely not in Rattay among the refugees.
That's true enough. I didn't see him there.
But if you're interested, young fella, maybe you could help us find the priest we need here.
Isn't it up to the bishop to appoint a priest?
Oh, you're probably right, but you don't seem interested in doing it. Why waste time finding a priest for a village with just one old fool in it?
Well, you're probably right. I can always ask, but I've really got no idea where to start.
I can help with that. A few years ago, there used to be another priest in Skalitz. Simon, I think his name was.
Simon? Father Simon, I remember him. That's the one who went missing, right?
Aye. I don't want to spread rumours, but they say he was in love with his housekeeper. And then she died somehow, poor thing.
That's not a story I've come across.
It only reaches folk who care for such tales. Well, to finish the story, Simon left the parish and ran away. You know that already. There was neither sight nor sound of him for a long time. Until this spring, he showed up here.
And what's he doing here?
That's just it. People say he's become a hermit.
All right. And where can I find him?
I couldn't tell you exactly, but you could start by talking to that girl's parents. Well, they live on a farm nearby, and it's likely they know more. They may even have had words with him.
I'll go and see what they have to say for themselves.
God go with you, lad, and I pray you find him. If some heathen stabs me in my sleep, I'd rather have a decent burial.
Don't worry. I'll bring someone.
Well.
Yeah.
My humble greetings. How may I help you?
I'm looking for the priest, Father Simon, and I heard you might know of him.
Simon? What do you want him for?
I'm looking for the priest who used to take care of St. James, and the locals tell me they saw him around here.
I don't know if I can help you there. He'll never go back to his parish, if you ask me. Very well. What is it you want to know?
What went on between Simon and your daughter?
Nothing that hasn't happened before. Our Mary was his housemaid in Skalitz. She was pretty, very pretty. And he was young, and so things went the way they do between comely young folk. She came back home one day, heavy with child.
Yes, these things happen. What can you do?
I said as much. I was just glad our girl was provided for. Only she never had the chance to hold that babe in her arms. She didn't live through the birth.
I'm very sorry.
Such is a woman's lot in life. Men die in battle, and women in the arms of the midwife.
And what happened to Simon?
The poor man. He took it the worst. He was sure God's wrath smote Mary for her fornication.
That's rubbish. People lie together out of wedlock all the time, and God never smites them down.
That's just what I told him. But it's hardly my place to lecture a priest. And who knows? Maybe he was right. The Lord moves in mysterious ways. He was overflowing with grief. He barely spoke, didn't eat, refused to take a new housemaid. And then, one fine day, the presbytery was deserted. It took a good season before another priest came along.
Where can I find him? He's said to be wandering around here somewhere.
I heard that too, and I'm inclined to believe it, even though I haven't seen him myself.
How come?
After our poor Mary went to her rest, we used some of the money he'd paid us to put a cross up by the roadside. And lately, there's been wreaths of comfrey turning up next to it. I don't take them there, nor my husband neither.
You think Simon does?
Who knows? Maybe it's a miracle. I could believe anything. But there's not been fresh ones for a while, so perhaps he's moved on elsewhere again.
I see. Can you tell me where that cross is?
Certainly. There are settling tanks for the mines to the west of Skalitz. On the hill above them in the woods, there are several paths. Mary's cross is by one of them, close to the brook.
All right, thanks. I'll be going.
Very good, then. And if you do find him, let him know that we have no hard feelings.
I'll tell him.
Goodbye.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
This must be that cross. Mary's mother was right. Someone did lay flowers here recently. I should have a look around and see if there's comfrey growing anywhere nearby.
You run. Hey, you! What are you doing here?
I was just passing and I heard voices, so I've come to see what's going on.
Nothing that's any of your business. Get lost.
Very well then. Are you alright?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Oh, what happened to those wretches?
They're skulking around here somewhere.
Good God! Couldn't you scare them off somehow? I'm afraid they'll be back.
I'll see what I can do.
Just don't hurt anyone.
No! No! Ledetchko, take that! Gone weak at the... Jesus Christ!
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for the priest, Father Simon, and I heard you might know of him.
Simon? What do you want him for?
I'm looking for the priest who used to take care of St. James, and the locals tell me they saw him around here.
I don't know if I can help you there. He'll never go back to his parish, if you ask me. Very well. What is it you want to know?
What went on between Simon and your daughter?
Nothing that hasn't happened before. Our Mary was his housemaid in Skalitz. She was pretty, very pretty. And he was young, and so things went the way they do between comely young folk. She came back home one day, heavy with child.
Yes, these things happen. What can you do?
I said as much. I was just glad our girl was provided for. Only she never had the chance to hold that babe in her arms. She didn't live through the birth.
I'm very sorry.
Such is a woman's lot in life. Men die in battle, and women in the arms of the midwife.
And what happened to Simon?
The poor man. He took it the worst. He was sure God's wrath smote Mary for her fornication.
The Bible does say it's a terrible sin.
Well, I'm not fit to judge, and the ways of the Lord are strange. He was overflowing with grief. He barely spoke, didn't eat, refused to take a new housemaid. And then, one fine day, the presbytery was deserted. It took a good season before another priest came along.
Where can I find him? He's said to be wandering around here somewhere.
I heard that too, and I'm inclined to believe it, even though I haven't seen him myself.
How come?
After our poor Mary went to her rest, we used some of the money he'd paid us to put a cross up by the roadside. And lately, there's been wreaths of comfrey turning up next to it. I don't take them there, nor my husband neither.
You think Simon does?
Who knows? Maybe it's a miracle. I could believe anything. But there's not been fresh ones for a while, so perhaps he's moved on elsewhere again.
I see. Can you tell me where that cross is?
Certainly. There are settling tanks for the mines to the west of Skalitz. On the hill above them in the woods, there are several paths. Mary's cross is by one of them, close to the brook.
All right, thanks. I'll be going.
Very good, then. And if you do find him, let him know that we have no hard feelings.
I'll tell him.
Goodbye.
This must be that cross. Mary's mother was right. Someone did lay flowers here recently. I should have a look around and see if there's comfrey growing anywhere nearby.
Hey, you! What are you doing here?
I've come for the priest. Simon.
There's no one here called that.
There is. Do you take me for a fool?
All right. Maybe there is someone here. What of it? We're not going anywhere.
I think you should talk less and move your legs more.
And why is that? You think you've got what it takes to beat us?
I might. But it doesn't matter, because I saw you yesterday, and then stopped by Talmberg to report. So, unless you'd rather wait for Sir Divish's Captain Robard, you should go now.
Shit! All right, we'll go. How far are they?
Far enough still. If you run, I'm sure you'll get away.
Right. Thanks for the warning.
Are you all right?
Yes, I think so. Oh, what happened to those wretches?
They're skulking around here somewhere.
Good God! Couldn't you scare them off somehow? I'm afraid they'll be back.
I'll see what I can do.
Just don't hurt anyone. Oh, thank you, my son. I was beginning to fear I'd never get out of here alive.
Times are hard when brigands roam the land and attack the defenseless.
But they didn't attack me. I saw them raiding birds' nests down by the path, so I took pity on them.
Which makes what they did all the more loathsome. That's no way to repay a good Christian's hospitality.
And to whom do I owe my salvation?
My name's Henry. You may remember me. I'm the son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
Your face does seem familiar. But listen, Henry, I can't help feeling you didn't stumble across me by accident.
It's true. I've come to ask a favor of you.
Me? What on earth could I do for you?
I need you to go back to St. James. The folk there need spiritual guidance. Skalitz has a burned-out shell, and many have died in St. James. They need a priest. Any priest.
I understand, but I have to disappoint you. I gave up my calling. Instead, I've given myself over to repentance.
I know your story, Father.
Then you know what I'm guilty of.
Yes, and I don't want to try to make light of it. Your conscience is your own affair, but I know that deep down you're a good man.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know me.
But I know what you did. Many priests break God's commandments willy-nilly and aren't the least ashamed.
That doesn't absolve me of my sins. God's law is set, no matter how often it's violated.
You're certainly right, but the people need you. And forgive me for being blunt, but while you can leave the presbytery if you choose, it doesn't absolve you of your duty to Christian folk.
But I'm a sinner. I'm not fit to guide anyone. I'm unworthy to do so.
Priests, bishops, monks, abbots, they're all sinners. Even the Holy Father himself is a sinner. You've done your penance, and now your people need you.
You're probably right. It is my duty. At least for a time, until they find someone better.
As you say, once things are back in order, there'll be a new priest at St. James, and you can leave if you want.
All right. I'll take what I can carry and go back to St. James.
Thank you. Your parishioners will be very grateful. I need your help, Father.
And what's troubling you, my son?
Me personally, nothing. But Sir Divish is wounded and seeks to make his peace. And there are casualties at Talmberg and wounded men who may not live to see the morning.
I understand. There's much work to be done by a priest. Feel free to return to your duties, my son. I'll bundle up a few things, tell the neighbors, and head down the road myself.
Thank you, Father.
I hope I can be of help to you, mate.
I found you a priest.
Really? That's wonderful news. Who is it?
The former parish priest of St. James. I persuaded him to return to live among you, at least for a while.
So you found him?
Yes. He was roaming the woods around here.
Thank God. You'll see. Once there's a priest, people will soon be back.
I hope so.
I've put together a small sum for a new piece. So I thought a portion should definitely go to you, as a reward.
I couldn't possibly take it. You'll need the money to rebuild the village.
As you wish, then. I shan't weigh you down with it.
So, farewell to you. And I hope he gets here soon. Just that you let him run off again.
I'll keep an eye on him myself. Godspeed to you, Henry, and thank you for your help.
Take care.
let's talk about the price.
Alright, so?
Is this enough?
You won't convince me with that.
I knew we'd come to an arrangement. Do you happen to know the whereabouts of Konrad Kyeser?
And what do you want from the old buzzard? Never mind. What do I care? It's the big house in the courtyard by the monastery.
I've come to ask for help.
Again? Such trying times we live in. God is testing us all. So what is it you need?
Their lordships have laid siege to Talmberg, and the brigands have wounded Sir Divish and many other people. I'm to ask if the monastery might send someone to help.
Sadly, I can't assist you. I have many needy folk right here requiring my constant care. I can't just leave them.
And what if I helped you out here? You'd have more free time, and there's a wounded nobleman at Talmberg who needs a proper physician.
Yes, then I'd be willing to go, but not until everything has been put to rights here first.
Very well. Where should I start?
Talk to your hunker. She knows what's needed.
Goodbye.
Please, help me.
Yeah.
What was that noise?
I was surprised myself, but I wasn't sure Betty would even want to sell them. So,
Is someone there?
Good health to you.
I must have imagined it.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
What about this?
That's not enough.
That's a sum I can live with.
Yeah.
God watch over you, good knight, especially in these dark times. Can I do something for you? May the Lord watch over you.
Let's talk about the price.
All right, so...
Since it's you...
More.
Very well. I agree.
My humble greetings. How may I help you?
Goodbye.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
What do you say to this?
You're a right pinch purse.
I'll go for that.
Henry, how are you?
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip, and they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rattay I unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God, there has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then. Good luck then.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own.
Henry, how are you?
I brought some meat.
Thank you, Henry. Rich food will definitely help. God be with you.
He just needs to sleep. He just needs to sleep.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Why don't you go and lie somewhere else?
I can't. Not with this leg.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly. Take care.
These wounds have been well taken care of.
What will happen to my family?
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
What will happen to my family?
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep. And sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks.
What will happen to my family?
Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world, and the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm ashamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, Conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of, but others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
Well, that's true. He comes to visit Johanka, but he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
I can't sleep again. I can't stay here. Please.
Good luck, then.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you.
That's a poor offer.
I can't sleep again.
Very well, I agree.
can't sleep again. Can't. I just can't.
What will happen to my family?
I can't stay here. I can't stay here. I won't get any sleep. I just won't get any sleep. Please, help me. Please. What will happen to my family? I can't sleep again.
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this, and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you. Take care now.
I'm not needed here.
Oh, it's you.
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian could set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium, anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care now.
Shit. What's going on?
Hopefully I have what you need.
Thank you. With any luck, I'll soon be feeling better. If you find the time, stop by to see me in a few days.
May the Lord watch over you.
Where? What's happening?
You look all right.
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the cumins wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I've got bandages, so I can take care of it.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then. Take it.
Dear Mistress Johanka, I come again in admiration of your selfless dedication. I would like to invite you to a fine banquet at my palace. You certainly have earned so... What business have you here, fellow? Who let you in?
I'm taking care of the wounded, as I'm sure you're aware.
Ah. Well then, run along and take care of them, and let me talk to Johanka. You're not needed here.
Wouldn't it be better to have the banquet here, custodian?
What?
If you won't give the sick anything else, couldn't you at least hold the banquet here?
Nobody's going to talk to me that way. Lock him up for the night and let him learn some manners.
Yeah.
God damn it, my stomach hurts. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. These wounds have been well taken care of. Everything here is fine. What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious. He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
Take care now.
Are you holding him firmly?
Aye.
Done.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
Sometimes. A little.
That's good. Excellent. Johanka means a lot to me.
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
She has a kind heart. Everyone can see how deeply she cares about the wounded. If you help her selflessly, it'll win her over. She's bound to be impressed.
Maybe you're right. It will cost me something, but I'll discuss it with Nicodemus. I should be able to help in some way. Good luck to you.
Henry, how are you?
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
But I found him. He preaches in a church in Rovna.
He's alive. Then talk to him.
That custodian Sebastian is really obnoxious.
He can be unpleasant, but in his own way. I don't know.
You can't be serious.
What's that supposed to mean? At least he was here, unlike you, the whole time. And anyway, mind your own business. Good luck then.
God be with you.
I need help with treatment.
And what's wrong with you?
Oh, nothing. But Philip from Skalitz is dying. He's lying in Sasau and won't last long.
Slowly now. What happened to him?
Nobody knows much. He's not wounded, but I heard he was hiding from the Cumans for days in a pile of carcasses.
The Lord have mercy. The living should never lie with the dead. His intestines must be purged, but even then he's in God's hands.
How do I clean his intestines?
It might surprise you, but you'll have to give him alcoholic spirits. The purest you can get your hands on. The best is distilled from Artemisia. It'll make him a bit delirious, but it'll help. I'll show you how to prepare it. God be with you.
The love of God! What have you been doing?
Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know.
Good luck then.
Thank you.
Good luck then.
Oh, it's you.
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it.
Good luck then.
What's going on now? You didn't get any brew?
The brew's gone.
You could have saved some.
I know, but I didn't. Can you get me more?
This is the last time.
Goodbye.
Brew?
Yes, please. Take care.
Yeah!